weekly Paley report, and it is October 30th of the great year 2024. It's raining outside here in Marbella, España. So this is a little indoor Paley report. You might have to get ready for a few of these. Winter is coming. Anyway, it's been a while since we've looked at the solar system here. Thought I would bring it to your attention a little bit. And let's just focus in a little bit and a little bit more. I did this for November 1st because, as you can see here, it is the new moon. What is a new moon? Here's the moon right here, right in between, right? Earth and sun. So it is a moon conjunct the sun. They're at the same degree of the stars, of the zodiac, of the constellations. So obviously this is going to move around. It goes around once a month. So it'll be a quarter moon next week, a full moon the week after that, another quarter moon, and a new moon. This one is at 9 degrees 35 minutes of Scorpio. I will be reading to you that particular Sabian symbol later on in our report. But what I want to show you right now is also what some of these other aspects are that are going on right now. And this is Mars, Earth, Pluto. So since all of our charts are geocentric, that is from Earth, Mars is exactly opposite to Pluto. I talked about it a little bit last week. With retrograde, it's going to go on a few times, but November 3rd, that is coming up. It's on Sunday. We have this Mars opposite Pluto. Now, I want to talk to you today about oppositions. And another one of these oppositions is, of course, we can just turn this around and look at what's going on over here. Aha. Venus opposite Jupiter. Venus, Earth, Jupiter. So it's like we are stuck in the middle between Venus and Jupiter and Mars and Pluto. And not only that, but let's also look a little farther over here. Mercury, Earth, Uranus. Three major oppositions. Mercury, Venus, and Mars, our personal inner planets, in opposition to Jupiter, Uranus, and Pluto over here. I mean, whoa. With a new moon in Scorpio at the same time. This is like, really, really something. This is a very powerful, intense week. And let me show you some of the other things, other aspects. The nice thing that we have that I wanted to show you was, where's Saturn? Come on, man. There he is. Let's put Saturn up over here. Am I making you dizzy with the get Saturn going a little farther? Come on. Oh. Anyway, does that make it clear? Oh, let's go like this. Yeah. Now this gets a little trickier. Okay. The oppositions and the conjunctions are kind of easy, but here we get into, if you take a line from Earth to Venus and shoot it all the way out there. No, I'm sorry. Earth, Sun, and keep going straight out there, right? And you take another one and you go from Earth to Saturn and you go way out there, okay? It's going to be 120 degrees. A circle is 360. So this is one third of the circle. That's why they call it a trine, trinity, three. It's 120 degrees aspect. So it's very nice that, this new moon in Scorpio could be pretty scary, but it's nice to know that there is this angular relationship with Saturn that is highly, highly supportive. We also have another one if we want to get a little more. How do we put this now? Ay, ay, ay. Should I make it upside down? There is no upside down in outer space. Let's go kind of like this. Mercury is trine Mars. So if you drew a line out here and a line out there, right? There would be this measurement of 120 degrees between those two lines of Mercury and Mars. That is exact actually on Saturday. And there is also a Mercury trine Neptune that I could show you, but I think I've shown you enough. I don't need to like go too far. This is just like such a cool program. I love it. It's Astroscope. I think it's free. I don't, if not, it didn't cost that much. You can go, we can go farther out there, get into Maki and oh man. But here's the other thing. Now, if you want to really get an idea of just how small we are, we're going to shrink and go a little farther out, a little farther out, a little farther out, past the stars, past the stars, until our sun is nothing but a tiny little speck in the Milky Way galaxy. There we are. Isn't it beautiful? It is a beautiful galaxy. Oh my goodness. And it's only one of many, many, many galaxies. So let's talk a little bit about what's going on in our. Hola, everybody. Happy Halloween. The Day of the Dead, All Souls Day, the elections in the United States, a new moon in Scorpio. It doesn't get so much more intense than this, with three major oppositions happening at the same time between the personal planets, Mercury, Venus, and Mars, okay, in opposition to transpersonal planets, in this case, Jupiter, Uranus, and Pluto. And of course, we know that Scorpio has everything to do with dealing with and working with forces beyond our control and either submitting, dominating, or merging and cooperating and co-creating. So there's different ways and different means, that there's different ways that things can work out. But the intensity of the meeting cannot be ignored or denied. And just really understand that if you are feeling like fear or, intense emotional needs or desires to fight or flight, or you are not alone. This is a planetary energy happening right now, whether you are in the Ukraine or Israel or the United States or Africa, like wherever you are. Okay, there is a very powerful transmission, and the frequency is just like vibrating at a very high, high, high rate, pace, speed. Yeah. So let's delve down into the roots of this, because I want to just explain the opposition aspect. And it has so much to do with the seed that was sown in the case of Mars and Pluto. These are planetary pairs. Pluto is the soul, Mars is actions taken, as a result of soul desires. So it is desire. And these two had their first conjunction, okay, back in, when was that? February 14th. Okay, so this is Kundalini rising, powerful, just gut impulse, spontaneous soul desires coming to the surface, where we all had a chance to really see what is it that my soul needs. And then later on, a couple months ago, obviously there were the eclipses, the eclipse season in March. But then came around what? Venus was conjunct Jupiter in the very last degrees of Taurus, okay, May 23rd. And Venus, Jupiter, okay. Venus is my ability to love myself, to receive love, and also to share and give love. And Jupiter wants to open it, expand it, explode it, and increase it. So, those two came together, okay, at the very last degrees of Taurus, right? And a very powerful period there of, you know, what can I say? It's a time of Taurus is Earth, it's money, it is sexuality, it is values, a time of setting seeds, maybe organizing your finances, working out what are your, physical needs and how are you going to meet them. And those needs are based upon our values. So maybe let's expand, what is valuable to us in our lives and in our relationships and what's important is kind of setting priorities, okay, happening around there in May. And this can also have to do with health, finances, everything having to do with, Taurus and the second house, even survival, just physical food, clothing, and shelter, like get it together, okay, and find new ways to do it. And then came around June. Okay. Mercury was conjunct Uranus on June 1st. Okay. And again, sign of Taurus. Okay. I need to take care of myself. I need to survive. I need to thrive. I need to, receive. So since that time, all three of these planets, okay, have moved through the sextile and the square and the trine and the quincunx and now, okay, this is like, you can even think of inhale and exhale. Okay, it has been a time of inhale, and now that it's like boom. It's a peak turning point, and it's like coming out. We could all have a big coming out party. It's time to show ourselves. Okay, this is like the curtain opening for the play or the musical concert or the beginning of the Olympics or the opening ceremony of a festival. Or, yeah, I mean, it's like it's time to be seen. Okay, we've ordered, we've, gotten ourselves together, we've created ourselves anew, we've got new talents or a new business or new artwork or something we want to present, or you've been building a relationship. Okay, well, now it's time to, where is this going? And what's happening, and where do we go from here together? How do we work as a team? How do we cooperate? Yeah, there's this whole exchange that is happening now. So it's a socialization process, okay, of like really coming out of our bubble, okay, coming out of our own little art studio and putting on our show at the gallery. Will they like it? Yeah, will they like my song? Will they like my dance? I mean, it's a time of being evaluated in some ways, of being tested. Our relationships can be getting tested. Okay, our products, our whatever we've produced, whatever we've created is getting, observed, looked at, analyzed, checked out. I mean, it is really, so yeah, it's a time where, and in the elections, of course, it's been building, 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 okay, and they've all been spouting out their different ideals and values and programs or whatever, So, I mean, this is just like, shh. And now, boom, new moon in Scorpio. Yeah, the rubber hits the road. Can we do this together? Can we mix and mingle and create something greater than either one of the parts, than either one of us could do alone? Together when we merge, finances, we can, spend more, create a bigger, when there's a merger of corporations, okay, they can, have greater impact. When we merge sexual fluids, okay, a baby can come out of it. So, I mean, there is this, if we merge, like, how can I say, properly, correctly, with wisdom, with intention, with love, with a common value, a shared goal, then all things are possible, and there can be like alchemy happens and explosions can come out of it, right? And it can be like fantastic. I want to read to you the Sabian symbol for this new moon. It is the 10th degree of Scorpio, and it is a fellowship supper, reunites old comrades. The overtones of human relationships based on a community of work or experience. This symbol pictures the essential nature of the bond that unites individuals who have participated in some common activity. The social feeling of communion, plus all that it engenders, arises after the act performed together. Activity is at the root of consciousness. Activity in common generates social consciousness and cultural patterns, which become set in the form of institutions. A group personality emerges, which displays characteristic features and gives birth to collective emotions and values. Again, values, very important here with Scorpio. Shared values. Wherever the symbol appears, it suggests the importance of establishing or strengthening links with those with whom one has shared or can share living experiences. The value of comradeship is emphasized. So the possibilities here, I want to look at this positively to say that this can be a period where coming together in the right way with the right people at this time can just absolutely, it's like, the universe is, supporting, okay, this, alchemical union that can lead to greater truth, reality, and power. The downside. The downside is if it's not done with the right partner, right? There can be domination and submission. There can be a struggle for power and control over the relationship. And this leads to inequality. This leads to hurt and pain and suffering from the one who is being limited, censored, dominated, unheard, unlistened to, unappreciated. I mean, So, coming together in equality, coming together, with with love and with shared values, finding common goals is just like this is what it is all about. And this is what we can really see coming up in our relationships, coming up in our lives. This is a time of, really not only being evaluated by the other, but this is also a time to use objective discernment. The opposition is like a full moon, it's illumination. This is a time of really illuminating. Okay, are we on the same plane? Do we share the same values? Do we want to go in the same direction? Are we going, do we have the same common goal? Or is one using the other? Is one, taking advantage? Is one, wanting to, pull along, or is one, sacrificing more? An old friend of mine just said, basically, Scorpio relationships are based on cost and reward. Are you getting back? Are you getting the reward of your investment? Whether it's a business, a relationship, the food that you eat, is it keeping you healthy? Is it making you stronger? Or is it wearing you out, wearing you down, and making you sick? Is a relationship, supporting you and lifting you and energizing you and building, I want to say a lot of this also comes around to, like I say, control and freedom. And even if I look at the elections in the US, I mean, ideally, this coming together, I mean, here we got, the left and the right and the blue and the red and these two parties are not coming together in the first place. Yeah, because this is the other thing that happens is confrontation, right? Okay, I mean, we bump up against, and if we are not on that same plane, we're going to have power struggles. So this can also be a time of, coming out of your ring, coming out of your corner into the middle of the ring, to just like really, in some ways, it's necessary to defend ourselves if there is a leech, a bloodsucker, okay, a relationship that is draining us, that is pulling us, whether it's business partnership, cheating or lying, or a love relationship that's just, there's not truth and there's not love happening. There's selfishness, or egotism, whatever. I mean, Scorpio is actually the sign of like the death of the ego, so that out of that can emerge a higher truth. And we have Mercury moving into Sagittarius. Venus is already in Sagittarius. So this is like really beautiful. And now Mars coming into Leo. Okay, these Mars and Mercury both moving out of water, okay, the emotional realm, second chakra, into fire, solar plexus, third chakra. I mean, this is explosive. Okay, this is like, and hopefully, it's Venus rising out of the ocean on her shell. I don't know if you've seen that. I should put that as the thumbnail. Anyway, instead of a pumpkin, really. Come on. Anyway, yeah. So you get this sense of tension, and this is also a thing of like, we have, we've taken in, we've hit our limit. It's like, okay, this is the limit. It's very important now to, relax. It's intense. We're getting tested. We're getting observed. We're getting judged or evaluated. We're getting stretched to our limits. Yeah, and we need to release. And that release can be boom, in your face. This is what I want. This is who I am. I demand, blah, 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 blah. I mean, right, or, yeah, it can also be, this release of I surrender and I want, and I seek union. I seek merging. And the big thing about that is not limiting the other person's freedom to be who they are and to have their own self. It's not like, power over squashes or dominates or uses, right? That power of the other. So honor and respect, honesty, and mutual supportive relationships. This is cooperation. This is what, this new moon is about. And we can talk about it because it's a whole month. The new moon sets the tone now for the whole month. And so this is saying that, what? This is an intense, deep time where there can be power struggles, there can be domination, there can be winners and losers, and success and failure. And, I mean, it's, like, it's just very, very intense. People that are very close to you, obviously money, business, opportunities can, either, work, grow, and expand, or just blow up and fail. And, so this is kind of a lot of sorting out this month, okay, of what is really supportive of, what relationships most support you, and what relationships and what other people are you most willing, wanting, and able to support, that you believe in them, that you see they are a rose and you want to help them blossom and bloom, there's potential. What is the potential of this business, of this partnership, of this country? Okay, and on a national institutional level, we have to really kind of, so, I mean, my hope, is that in the elections, right, whoever is, wants to create a government or an institution, and, a government is an institution that supports the freedom of expression of the individual members of the group, so that everyone is acknowledged, everyone is free, everyone is open. There's not censoring, there's not mandates, there's not demands, there's not, creating a government of control. We don't want to be controlled in our relationships, and we don't want governments and institutions and corporations, controlling us either. So, it's Sagittarius, this Venus and, Mercury opposite Uranus is, definitely, it is all about freedom. And that freedom can be an ideal. I mean, it can be a truth. It can be like, really gorgeous, really wonderful. So, let me bring forward now the mantra for the week. Yeah. I go out and expand as far as I can until it's time to come back in. If I don't know my own limitations, I'll hurt or be hurt again. Yeah. So there is this tipping point. It's a tipping point, and it's almost like a knife's edge, okay, of not coming out enough, not giving enough. I'm afraid of losing myself, of losing my money, of losing, my little gem that I think is so special, my ego, being right, well, whatever it is. I'm afraid of losing it. So I'm just going to, I'm not going to relate. I'm running. I'm out of here. And then of course the opportunity for creating something bigger is gone, right? And then there is too much. I'm not going to lose my ego. I'm not going to lose my specialness. I will be right. I'm going to, dominate, and I'm going to enter relationship and partnership with too much power, too much control, too much righteousness. Okay, using, my money or my power or my influence or my sex or my beauty or my whatever, to use and abuse and manipulate the relationship, right? So there is this like too much, or too little. And obviously, the middle way. Buddha had it, man. It's the middle way. It's not holding ourselves back out of fear, that I'm not enough. I'll never please you. I'll never da, 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 da. I'm not even going to try. You know, or too much. So if we find this balance of power, this balance of control gained through mutual, again, this is mutual ideals, mutual goals, and the whole thing is about, and it even goes beyond because, Aries to Cancer is this kind of unconscious. Leo to Scorpio is self-conscious. Sag to Pisces is transpersonal consciousness. So now it's about, is this relationship also going to help the world and the family, future generations, other people? Is this relationship, helping each of those involved in that relationship to contribute something more? We know that in astrology, in mythology, okay, Zeus honored and lifted and rewarded those who offered social service, so that it's not about self-pleasure and self-aggrandizement and more power for I, me, my, but no, 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 no. Scorpio is the death of that ego self, the death of your selfishness in order, to like really give something bigger and greater to the world. So, is this relationship, going to help each of the people involved in that relationship to be more than they have been. And together, will that, will the coming together result in a baby? Will it result in, a family? Will it result in, a co-creation of something that is, better, more, beyond what either one could experience or have or do alone? I mean, this is where it's about. So, that mantra just has to do with understanding, our limitations so that we don't hurt each other, allow ourselves to be hurt, or hurt ourselves. Okay. Again, that's why this time is so intense, because it's like there's a lot of decisions, with every word, with every promise, with every, everything that comes out. It's a time to be very, very aware. And for that to happen, my main suggestion is slow down. Slow down. When we get stressed, when it's intense, okay, there is this buildup and we can make mistakes. Okay, we can blurt out something, we can act and, cause an accident. We can, there's just like, so, it's like when the rubber band is stretched really tight or you tighten your guitar string, too much, it snaps, right? So you got to like really breathe long, slow, deep breathing. Do your pranayama or, yeah, whatever breath work helps you to calm the nervous system. Mercury Uranus rules the nervous system. This opposition can turn people into nervous wrecks. The Pluto Mars opposition can lead to violence of, like over assertion. The Venus Jupiter can lead to too much drinking or too much sugar or, too much pleasure, to where we get, kind of just like, wipe ourselves out. So this is a whole time of moderation, of going the middle way, of like really, and above, I'd say, and above that, beyond that is optimism. Yes, things are dying, things are going away. What's not necessary or needed or really going to benefit the relationship, benefit the future, benefit others, okay, can get taken away. This can be very much a time, okay, of loss. And we want to understand that gain and loss is an egoic creation. So, life just simply moves on. Pluto, the ruler of Scorpio, as the sole being, takes away, okay, things we may be emotionally attached to. It's a water sign. But if it is not part of our soul, our unconscious soul evolution, our own good, basically, it's got to go. Money, arms, eyes, business, sex, whatever, relationship. I mean, so this can be a time where you're getting peeled like a banana, but understand like you're a snake shedding its skin. You're moving towards something higher, something better, something more true to who you are. And it may be that if you are not in your power, you need to come into your power in order to deal with that force beyond your control, another person, an institution, old age or whatever it is. But you need to summon up your power in order to deal with the intensity of the situation. You know what I mean? So that it's also a time of we find new resources. We find new sources of energy and new sources of power within ourselves. So there can be this discovery. So don't go down with the Titanic or don't, focus on what's leaving. What's leaving needs to go. There is a higher purpose. There is a spiritual beyond your ego. You have a soul, and that soul knows what is best for you. So then this builds into that Sagittarius faith. We have to have some faith. And this, leads ultimately to greater self-expression, to greater manifestation, to greater recreation, initial creation. And that's why I want to end this Pele report with the lyrics for the song for this week. I got it on my phone. All you need is love. I mean, just check out these lyrics, man. This is just too good. It's too good. There's nothing you can do that can't be done. Nothing you can sing that can't be sung. Nothing you can say, but you can learn how to play the game. It's easy. Nothing you can make that can't be made. No one you can save that can't be saved. Nothing you can do, but you can learn how to be you in time. It's easy. There's nothing you can know that can't be known. Nothing you can see that can't be shown. Nowhere you can be that can't be. During these times of intensity, of power struggles, of conflict, of wars, of winners and losers, and yeah, instead of like getting lost in our ego and our own selfish preservation of my resources and myself and my energy and my lifestyle and my. Ask the question, what does love want here? What does love want now? What is love asking of me? And when you tap into that, and when you meditate on that, and you, right, you can incarnate that energy of love and and shine the light in the darkness of the underworld. Be the light, be the peace. Yeah, be that representation of balance and harmony in a distraught world full of despair and, you know, some anger. I mean, I don't need to go, into, so much of what is going on. I would say fear. In this one case, we could say maybe love is the opposite of fear. So if you're in fear, okay, you're not in love. Fear is the ego that doesn't want to lose. Okay. Love, and that's Newtonian physics, plus, minus, good, bad, right, wrong, yes, no, da, 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 black and white. Okay. Love is coming from quantum physics. It's the field. Yeah. And if we think about the field and we contribute to the field and we draw from the field what we need in order to, surrender it back into the field, and we're working with this energy of love, okay, we're not caught up with, the gain and the loss that's happening here in the third dimension. We got to open ourselves up to our multidimensional spiritual self. You know what I'm saying? So let me just say the mantra one more time for this week. I go out and expand as far as I can until it's time to come back in. If I don't know my own limitations, I'll hurt or be hurt again. I think it's written on the temple of one of those Greek temples. Know thyself. It's all about, and life is here to help each one of us know our own unique, individualized, special gift and find the right relationships, the right communities, the right tribe that honors those gifts, that feeds and nourishes those gifts, and that helps us to spread those gifts. So if your relationship's not really supporting you in being you, in bringing your gift of yourself to the world, right? Maybe that has to change, right? If your country, well, let's not go into countries. You may have to move out of that country. But then again, what country, where are you going? All these politicians. Anyway, I'm not going to get into politics. I want to wish you a happy Halloween. All Souls Day. Yes, comes with the sign of Scorpio, the sign of death. And just keep in mind, every death leads to a new resurrection. Every night leads to a new day. Every opposition will come around to a new conjunction. So yeah, baby, take the most out of it, maximize. That's my final message for today. Take advantage of these times, because when that energy rises, it could be fear, okay, stage fright, anxiety. You can take that energy and transform it into excitement and put it out there instead of letting it build up until you're like totally freaked out. Find release. This is a good time to exercise. Yeah, this is a good time to find outlets. have some good sex or whatever. I mean, just, but, take that energy, keep the energy moving, moving, moving. Yeah. Just, and yeah, every little thing is gonna be all right. That's another song for another week. For now, all I can say is namaste, aloha, so much love. Ciao, ciao.